Hi, I'm Kaylene. I was one of the writers, performers, and co directors of Family Duet.
I'm Paul Ray, and I did the same job.
Most of what you saw came from them. Whatever they said, it was from them, with a few edits.
I think that no, I mean that's a bit of an overstatement. I mean, if we're talking about the show as a whole, well, I think the point is that the words are not really the main, they're not the main thing. We didn't start by writing. We started in the rehearsal room by doing a
So it
series
was
of
just
different kinds of
devising and
activities.
memorizing. So there wasn't a script.
No, there was writing, but it came in later on.
Okay.
It came in part way through the process and continued to be revised as as the rehearsals progressed.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to remember that Summer is only just learning to read, and so at some level you simply can't make a show that is too literary or is too writerly. It has to be something that's devised in conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we talk a bit more then about the activities that we did at the start of the process? What do you remember of them now?
I think even before we went into a rehearsal, we had that, we just had the kind of jamming session at home. We just threw ideas around, right? And we thought, okay, it'd be nice to play this song, it'd be nice to do this, kind of that, that kind of.
Yeah, actually, our first few rehearsals were at home, and we actually continued to have some rehearsals at home because, the domestic environment was part of the show in a sense. But yeah, we started by making a long list of all the songs that we liked, say, to listen to in the car. The girls especially get really into particular songs for a period of time, and then they want to do it over and over and over again. And they have requests and that kind of thing. So that went into a long list, and then
I think we were also trying to make some references to the previous duets. So from the start, I think we already wanted to have that conversation between me and Lola about the previous duets as a kind of introduction. So there were a few of those things that we kind of already decided.
And then the other thing we would do is basically just before a rehearsal, we'd kind of look around the house and pull out a few objects that we thought had some sort of theatrical potential, like the exercise ball, which was one of the very first things that we took. And it would literally be quite last minute, and just sort of run around and grab a few things and take them to the rehearsal and see what see what happened with them. As for the texts, they have different points of origin. Kaylene's mum wrote her story, and we edited it very little. She actually wrote it. She actually wrote it for a TNS project. We stole it since they didn't seem interested in it. We thought that it would be interesting, and obviously it fitted very well thematically. Some of the texts came from interviews that I did. So near the beginning of the performance, there's a recording of an interview between Summer and myself. So that's one of several that we did, just like that, just sitting in her bedroom with my iPhone recording. And then there would be others where I would sit at the table and in the house and transcribe as they interviewed each other. And then those would go through a lot of edits and changes and adaptations and generally cutting down. But when it came to the World Condo scene, which is the third part of the performance, it really started from Summer having a strong sense that there were various announcements that she would like to make to the world, and she thought that maybe if she a good way of getting the world to listen to her would be to build this world condo and have everyone go there. And that's just something that she, this wasn't in relation to the show. This was just something that she developed as an idea, in her life, and so we decided to take that as the starting point. But obviously, some parts are written and scripted and memorized quite precisely, especially during my and Kaylene's scenes. And then, but by the time you get to the World Condo, actually it is also scripted quite precisely, but it's also open enough to allow for a lot of interventions and deviations.